Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Ironside cast. With me, Matt. We've had a battle here on Moscow outskirts in the autumn. Let's go through the players. Represent the Axis today. We have double Waffen SS with Kikerung and Zorzo. Represent the Allies today, or well, the Soviets rather. We have someone with a Russian name I cannot pronounce. Well, it might not be Russian, it might also be Ukrainian, but someone in Acrylic. So I apologize. Rachka? I have no idea how to say this. And Arthas. See what's going to go happening here on the Moscow outskirts. A very traditional 2v2 map from Combat of Heroes 2's olden days. I remember playing this a lot back in the day. Especially back before mods, actually. This was a pretty big one in the awesome match, I believe. Back then I ever played the game without mods, it's honestly a surprising thing. Keeping is going for double Storm Pioneers, very fascinating. Meanwhile, we have Zorzo going straight out for this SS Jaeger. Ooh! And going for the SS Fallschirm Pioneer. We're gonna see lots of unique units, hopefully, from Zorzo. So the Storm Pioneers pushing up here, the Soviets. So it's not completely dug in yet. Storm Pioneers pushing up here. Using the Sturmgewehrs quite effectively. At least so far. Molotov being tossed into the graveyard though. Oh! Hitting straight on the Storm Pioneers, killing two of them. Yeah, the Savage trying to set up the last handbags there. And succeeds. So the Soviets managed to do a lot of damage. Oh! And it looks like we have the Conscripts going in for a flank. I don't think the Storm Pioneers are going to be able to survive for long. The rest of the troops are just there as a distraction. And here comes the flank. Looks like one constant could go down. But that Storm Pioneer, if they die... Oh, that's a big loss. Yeah, I think Kikerung has to pull back here. That's just too many Soviets. Conscripts can just really overwhelm a position early. And while we have the other German troops trying to fight here at long range, which is working out a little bit better. No risk of them being overrun yet. But now the Conscript's gonna move to flank. Using this church here. We also have some Sturmgrenadiers now for Kikerung. And a Kugelwagen with an MT-44. We also have some Sturmgrenadiers now for Zorzo. And we could with Scope Sturmgewehrs, the unique weapon if you're playing as Jaeger. What do the Storm Pioneers get? Alright, they get a small Panzerfaust. Which is not something the Storm Pioneers normally have. So suddenly being able to pull a Panzerfaust out if an enemy vehicle shows up, honestly can be surprising. Kugelwagen getting to work here, still no command shares from Kikerung. Arthas has gone for 69th, which is Mthis. And Rafka has also gone for Mthis. Okay, it's double motorized for the Soviets. This could be a fascinating setup. But the Soviets are slowly losing the long-range firefight here, especially now that the Storm Grenadiers have joined in. And then we have the Storm Pioneers just holding this area, not Storm Pioneers, Fallschirm Pioneers. They're just holding this flank over here. So far it's working out, I guess. But the Soviets are still trying to push up here with armored vehicles. Well, not armored, but vehicles. Storm Grenadiers are somewhat in trouble here. But we do have a machine gun coming up. An MT-44. Ooh, I'll go for that Storm Pioneer. There they go, they get taken down. Germans have not gotten any of these resources down here. They've mostly been fighting around the church here. This point is now in German hands, which will give them a little bit. Be no fighting on the southern flank at all, but the Soviets are now sending conscripts down to secure it. Looks like Kikerung has gone for SS Panzer because I recognize that key. The first SS. Maximum running here for the Soviet Union. Storm Grenadiers trying to flank here from Zorzo to help. They will be able to get in position. So Soviets coming to flank here. Throwing a fragmentation raid there. And another fragmentation. Oh, one was enough though to clear it out. Now that's a little bit of a big loss there for the Soviets. They have to consider pulling back for a bit. MT-54 here for the Jaegers. Having some problem with their Maxim of their own. Looks like both sides are somewhat suppressed. 90 managed to pin the Maxim there. With a burst of those incendiary armor-piercing rounds. I have a squad of Panzer Jaegers throwing a grenade. That might be a flammable grenade. Yep, that's fine. That might actually destroy that Maxim. Looks like the Maxim can actually survive the fire. Which is honestly surprising. Wouldn't think the Maxim would be that durable, but I guess it is. Support weapons company coming up for Arthas and also up for Afka. Actually, Pioneers are having a long firefight still. There's not a lot of things happening on that flank yet. You do some Hitler Youth now arriving to replace the losses for Kigrun. A cheaper squad if you are playing as SS Panzer. I need to get some water here. I think I have my large can of water. Well, it's not really a can, I suppose. It's... What do you call this thing in English? Not a vase either. Like a larger transparent plastic container for water. Ah, that's better. We need water these times, especially in this heat. So the Germans won out this little engagement here and destroyed the Maxim entirely. Jeep has also been cleared out. But the Soviets have secured the southern field points. They still need to get this connector though. E-70 arriving and some Odon arriving in an armored car. Will this be enough to push through the Germans? We also have a Czech machine gun at the Sabas down here, unique to motor. But now, the Germans know that's a T-70. They do have a Panzer Jaeger with a Panzerbüchse. But the Panzerbüchse is not the most reliable at range of dealing with this. Oh, Hitler, you might be able to get a Panzerknacker off. Oh, just barely. Oh, they actually managed to hit the tracks. Panzerknacker. No, no Panzerknacker. Oh well. Loading high explosive round there in the T-70. Yeah, the frontal armor of the T-70 is high enough. Oh, this... Oh, God. He just killed the Panzerjägers. Another stuff in here that can actually stop the T-70. They're slowly rolling forwards and moaning down with its DP and small 37mm gun. I think it is a DP because you can kind of hear it. It sounds like a DP. T-70 really clearing it out the day today. And the Panzerbüchse is up for grabs. Storm Pioneers could have a flank, but they don't have any AT equipment. Maybe the Germans are trying to advance up here with MP40s, Storm Pioneers and Storm Pioneers moving up. So it's just quickly trying to set up a trench. But the Storm Pioneers might be in range here. But the Maximus is about to set up. Rage being tossed in. Oh, but the Storm Pioneers go down. But the Great almost killed the Maxim team entirely. You have the Soviets keep advancing over here, just cutting off more German units. Not looking good for Kigerung. But the Soviets are securing ground. Germans remain present up here. We do have some scope stone gewehr and the Storm Grenadiers now. Soviets do actually control the cutoff here, so the Soviets are not getting anything from this, so Germans could advance, but I don't know if there's any Soviets remaining behind. Of course, we can see there isn't. The Germans don't know that. Mattcasting are going up for Sotso, and they are going for infantry veterans to straight the gates. It's pretty handy. Gonna give all the units one veterancy level to start with, and also give any infantry units on the battlefield one veterancy level. Pretty useful. Or hit the youth for being called in to replace the losses. Being equipped with some Flammenwerfers, or a Flammenwerfer. T-70 is ready to dominate the battlefield again. That little tank, that good. Going straight, or very close range here of the machine gun. Throwing a grenade out the hatch. And a great did its job. But now there's a Panzer Jaeger with a Panzer strike and hits it. He got baited in. Now there's a command Panzer F1 arriving, and the Soviets are now the ones lacking AT equipment. Of course, the tank cannot risk getting close because the Panzer IV can still be destroyed easily by Soviet anti-tank raids, but at range, there's nothing here that can actually threaten this thing. Once the F1 reveals itself, that's going to be a very big issue. Yeah, this is not going to help them. And it does have two machine guns on the front here. Two MT-34s that can be very effective. Throwing a smoke grenade there by the looks of it. Very smart, but it's not going to help them for long. Those are the Germans just going to do a great assault. Yep. And the Soviets retreat. Smoke grenades popped on retreat, which is something the Odan does. They can retreat easier. That's a lot of MP40s now on these Storm Pioneers, MP40Is and normal MP40s. Half-track might be in trouble, not a half-track armored car. We do have a Valentine, and the Valentine could go toe-to-toe with the F1, I think. Because the gun on the Valentine is actually pretty decent. Oh, that's risky. Yeah, the Valentine's armor is also looking, but here's the Panzer Jaegers. Concentration from the F1. Also, the Valentine does manage to back. Oh, that almost hit. Well, this is going on. We do have a Valentine pushing on an open flank too, which forces Storm Pioneers back, but we have some Panzer Jaegers waiting here. Waiting for the opportune target. What should be now? This should fire now. This should fire now. There you go. Very nice. That's how you use it. That's how you use it. Just wait there in a good ambush position and then open fire. Don't fire at max range. That really reduces the accuracy. If they are in like around here or in this range here, perfect. That means they're like almost always hit and do maximum damage. That's a good use of the Panzer Jaeger team there, because they are supposed to be ambushes, not actually something you just assault with. And the tank tactics for infantry are very much ambush focused. You just cannot attack a tank frontally and just rush towards it. The machine guns will gun you down. We're gonna secure that other ground, but it's supposed to set up a bunker here. They're covering this fuel point. So it's have a lot of current skips in front of Vicky up here. Germans having issues really moving up. F1 is circling southwards though. Hitler Youth on the move. They want to clear out that bunker. Just a few more shots. Valentine on the move again though. Got a good flanking shot there. The F1 does have to be cautious because of the Valentines. Let's see what the Valentine decides to move. Going up here. Panzer Jaegers are waiting. But they will try to fight max range, I reckon. They have to get closer somehow, but now there's some Odan. Too risky. Odan has been forced back though, which is an opening. But he needs to wait. You have to be very cautious with your Panzer Jaegers. They are very susceptible to fire. Even get a modify if they're out in the open, because they're carrying a rocket-based anti-tank weapon, that they are much easier to hit. Because units will prioritize them when they see them. That's why running out in the open with rocket-based anti-tank weapons is very, very dangerous. It's often considered a suicide job. Because dealing with tanks is not easy. Not if you're an infantryman. Storm Pioneers is suffering some losses on this flank too. If you're wondering, this is like the first thing I'm doing today, so that's probably why my throat is a little bit sore. Well, not really sore, but it's not really awakened yet. That's why I need water. Good lubrication. Drink a lot of water, people. Water is very healthy for you. Especially these times. You need to remember to drink a lot of water to remain stable and healthy. We do have a commander arriving here in the field, a Untersturmführer arriving for the Jaegers. Like that his bodyguard looks like they are Panzer Fusiliers. If you're playing as Jaeger, I like that.
Lay footings for Panzer HQ here. Lock bolts. Make safe and prepare. Yes, comrade.
Valentine remains around.
Heavy vehicle production can now begin.
We have a little bit of a lull in the fighting. We do have a recon team. And they have spotted the Panzerjägers. But now the Soviets know there's a Panzerjäger waiting here. Hitler, you're trying to push up. Grenade managed to be tossed. These sappers have to move. There's an incendiary grenade too, but I managed to dodge it. Now the MG5 opens fire. But the Soviets having a recon there really allows them to see a lot. Actually, not that much, but it gives them an idea. And they also know the Panzerjäger has moved. Something to have a recon is pretty good. Mortar opening fire. Probably aiming around here by the looks of it. Scopes doing this, slowly trying to snipe away at the trench. How they have shots at this range, I have no idea. Because there's a lot of side blockers, if actually, technically. Here's also some SS Fallschirmjägers coming onto the field. The scopes doing this are actually slowly doing their thing. Just cutting away at the trench. Instead of being called in here quick by the Untersturmführer. We have an armored cavalry Madonna arriving. The Soviets maintain their hold down here, like a small pocket that bulges out. Madonna tried to advance here, but now the Germans also know there's a recon team. So the Germans need to be a little bit more cautious because the Russians might just be keeping an eye on them. Yeah, my cars have really good units to have here because the 50 caliber quite helps in the firefight. Oh, we're doing an MG42 here in the Storm Grenadiers as well. Mortar's doing its best. SS Fallschirmjägers are now arriving here. Very elite infantry. Able to SS Jaeger and a pack arriving as well. Valentine tried to push down here, but got pushed away by the pack and the F1. It's going to force the Soviets to reconsider their tactic here. So the F1 is going on the hunt. It has this one penetration. Ooh, did not penetrate then. Ooh, over penetration there from the Valentine. We're just gonna force the F1 to back off. Ooh, second shot, they dazed the crew. One more shot. Oh, didn't penetrate. We're firing at max range, so it's always a little bit risky. But it's now veterans enough to get a tank commander, which will really improve the firepower, well, accuracy of the Valentine. What's it being called here by Untersturmführer? Maximus in trouble. We do have tank production being prepared now by the Soviets. We might see some other vehicles starting to arrive. The trench is actually holding, but now with the Fallschirmjägers coming up, that's not going to last for long. There you go, quickly mowing down the Maxim team. And Opel Blitz surviving to reinforce at the front line. Now the Fallschirmjägers is actually in a position where they can threaten the Soviet base, or just outside it. The Soviets are having some issues. And Fallschirmjägers are pretty damn lethal. Especially when they have the FT-42s. Also, it's preparing to make a breakout here. We also have a Dushka arriving on the field. Soviet Her machine gun firing 50 caliber bullets. It's like a Soviet 50 caliber. But they are happy able to suppress. Oh, we have Odon flanking. Now that's a big issue here for the Germans. Because Odon are pretty damn accurate infantry. Big assault going on here from the Soviets. With the Fallschirmjäger suppressed, they cannot really do much. They have to pull back entirely. This could be a big issue. And Sophia also has to pull back. So it needs to take advantage of this and grab some territory. While Storm Grenadiers pushing up, we also have the machine gun ready to move to the front line. It's still weakened though, but it just needs to get some machine gun assurance up. So we have an MT-42 here, which ripped into the Dushka team and almost moved them down immediately. Yeah, it actually did. Almost because it's an MT-44 here, but it's not actually pointed at them. Never mind. Panzer 48 now here to support the F1. Which I don't think the Valentine can fight. We do have an MCHA Sherman coming on. So we have managed to take the cutoff point here, so they are getting fuel again. Which they desperately need. Well, technically they already got fuel from this one, but now they're getting even more fuel. So we have an artillery strike being called here by the command tank. Preparation. The Soviets pull a little bit further back with the defensive line because of it. But it looks like the GA is going to lead the assault. Oh, that's a Stuka Sufus Nebelwerfer strikes. Okay. And then the assault right after. That's actually really good play. And that's going to force the Soviets to just be in full retreat. This Valentine has been abandoned behind for the most part. Yeah, I don't think this Valentine is making it out. Good play here from Kikron. Assaulting immediately right after the rockets hit. That's exactly how you're supposed to do. The MT now revealing itself. Did not penetrate the ADA. But J did not penetrate either. This time the Sherman penetrated. Jaeger is taken out by the Sherman. The Sherman is a pretty good tank, so never underestimate it. Panzer is moving up the road. There's no infantry to go really cover for it. Panzer F1 pushing up. It's hit. Panzer is going to try and get into a cover position somewhere. Yeah, the Sherman is really potent. Ooh, yeah. Oh, the Sherman could be in trouble. It does see the Panzerjägers though. No, it doesn't. Now it does. And just to suppress. What rocket hits though? But the tank survives. But it's gonna have to be pulled back for repairs. And lots of fighting going on here. We also have the other SS player trying to push southwards, but we have another MCHA arriving. Gets hit in the side by a pack somewhere. Oh, over here. Stuka T being prepared by one of the German players. Repairs at the front line here for the MCHA. Artillery going in around the Soviets in this place. It's going to force the Soviets to pull back a little bit. You also have a truck arriving. So it's just light artillery, so not too heavily, but it does destroy a farmhouse. Which is obviously bad for the poor Russian farmer. We have a good match here. A little bit static, but most of the front line seems stable. But the Germans do have the munitions advantage by controlling both munitions points, which could be a big deal. Blinkorb on the way. Or they're gonna try and rush this towards the Sherman with a Panzerfaust. But the 50 caliber is present. With the 50 caliber on top on the Sherman, it's very potent at dealing with infantry. Because it has 3 machine guns, 2 30 calibers and a 50 caliber. It's a lot of firepower. It looks like the light 80 gun got cleared out, but that can easily be recruited later. More Soviets pushing up. Just applying pressure and pressure while the Sherman provides fire support. And the Sturmgrenadiers are slowly suffering losses. Pack trying to hit from the flank here, but misses. It's also just slightly out of range. But the Shermans provide enough fire support to allow the Soviets to just keep sticking up. Like, having just one tank around can really help. MT trying to push up here. Like, the MT is really good. It's only available to Soviet motorized. But it's really good at what it does. Getting close to a pack here, though. Yeah, driver injured. Got a little bit close there. High explosive missed. That might be the death of that Sherman. Oh, survived. Oh, but here comes the rest of the Germans. So the Sherman manages to back off. Jim back, he has to back off too. Got heavily damaged. The Germans are doing a lot of damage to the Soviets. They're holding the line. G pushing forwards. Ooh, great there on the Udon force to back, but now with the G, the Germans have a little bit of armored punch to them. Stuk should not be underestimated, but it doesn't have a machine gun on it at the moment, so it's lacking in anti-infantry capabilities. It's hunting for the Sherman! That is a risky move, but so far it's working out. Until the other Sherman down the flank appears. Yeah, at that point, Stuk has to pull back. Ooh, got a driver hit there. And gets taken out. Very risky maneuver with the Stuk, didn't really pay off. Not that time. And it also just denied it by destroying it entirely, so it cannot be recovered. Oh, we have sounds of Nebelwerfer coming in. Looks like the Germans are preparing another assault, potentially. Yeah, Hitler UFO are trying to push forwards, but the Sherman is on the flanks to stop it. And the machine guns are just too much for the Hitler UFO to push up on. Ooh, and good shot there from the Sherman. Like, these Shermans are so good. One squad taken out. We have a little bit of a defensive position here. F1 taken out. Star veteran 2-3 Sherman, but it has to pull back. Hack got a good shot on it. Ah, it gets taken out.
The enemy has destroyed one of our vehicles. How can I help?
We do have a Panzer tank coming out from one of the German players, which could be a very big issue. I don't think the Soviets are prepared to deal with Panthers. The Sherman is good, but the Sherman cannot fight a Panther frontally. Especially at range. Constant's gonna get bowed down by the MP40s here. But another Sherman appears. But the pack is in a position here to fire. Doesn't penetrate. Sherman just angles around, very smart. And these two pioneers have nothing to deal with the tank. But here comes the first SS. Ooh, looks like the Sherman will be able to back off potentially. Nope, this might be a dead Sherman. Yep.
We are suffering vehicle losses.
Great assault then afterwards just to get those conscripts off. So that succeeds. As the MP40s rush forward. Oh, completely mowed down. Not looking good for Arthurs here. They've suffered heavy losses. MT pushing into the center here. But looks like the pack is already prepared to take care of it. And here's the Panther. Now the Soviets are in big trouble. Panthers are not easy to deal with. Has more frontal armor than the Tiger. That's a pretty damn good gun too. Very potent tank. Probably the best medium tank of the war by some considerations. A little bit costly, and didn't arrive fast enough, but exceptional frontal armor. Good speeds, good gun, that kind of stuff. I see why a lot of medium tanks after the war, I believe, were modeled after the Panzer. Because the Panzer kind of embodied all the aspects of like what most modern balanced tanks do, I believe. Although it was pretty shit reliability-wise, but that was just like German tanks in general. Regardless, I guess design-wise, pretty damn good. Everyone liked it. Also pretty damn good looking. Like the Panzer is a really nice design. Some of the German tanks are just so so good looking. I wonder why. I guess they just had some good designers. Also love this design of Sherman though. The Sherman is a beautiful American tank. I guess I like aesthetics a bit too much. Even though the aesthetics might not always be a good thing. I like a good aesthetic. It's more like aesthetics not always reliable in the front line, you know? I just like things to look nice and cool. We do have a half-track coming up here with some Panzer to support, very nice, and we have an actual mechanized assault force here. Panzer is ready to follow up behind the Panzer. Driving over some graveyards, because as you do. I was just slowly trying to find out where it wants to go. Which could obviously take a little bit, you never know. Also, they plan to push northwards, perhaps. The Panzer is obviously going to stay not far behind, which is good. You always want Panzer Grenadiers near your tanks. Panzer Grenadiers are meant to support tanks, that's kind of their purpose. They're trained to do so, and they also get a bonus of fighting near vehicles. Oh, they're gonna push through the center. They could punch through the center, potentially. Two Mthis are just sitting there waiting. So we're probably having issues figuring out what to do next. They do have some bazookas on the Odon. And the smaller AT guns, but I don't think the smaller AT guns have a good chance of dealing with the Panthers. You have just a few shots being fired between either side. And some mortar shells, but overall, not a lot is going on at the moment. But the Soviets are preparing more and more Mthis. We also have a tech up here for Afka. They could go for an ISU or ISU, I think. Oh, good shot there on the Fallschirmjäger, it's almost killing them. The mortars do help a little bit. Panther pushing forwards. Wants to have a fight with the Sherman. Oh, the Sherman actually held up frontal armor-wise. That's rare. Especially against the Panther. Because the Panther has a pretty good high velocity. And yeah, that Sherman armor is holding up. Holy shit. Oh, but that's not. It didn't hold up that time. Can't hold up forever. But the Sherman has like barely any chance of penetrating at the front of this range. Especially against the Panther. The Panther's frontal armor is just so ridiculously high. Oh, and here now we have another Panther, but the small AT gun actually managed to penetrate. Oh, a bazooka gets it! Oh shit, the bazooka penetrated the front! And that's enough to just kill the Panther instantly. Because the Panther, despite being like a much better tank than the Panzer IV, has the same HP. So if something penetrates, it will do immense amount of damage. So like if a bazooka penetrates after it just got penetrated by the small AT gun, it will result in the tank just completely dying. All this going on, the Soviets are assaulting down here. Hack's still able to hold them off. Bonga has lost his machine gun, so it's not a threat. Soviets are just trying to apply pressure wherever they can. This MT has to pull back for repairs. We also have the Panzer is quickly being relocated down here. But Jordan don't have an AT rifle, but they've been suppressed. That's it. Oh, but they can break suppression. Right. AT rifle hits the half track. That's going to force the Panzer back. AT gun also cleared out. Oh, they actually still get it. That's a... Oh, right, because their PTS is scoped. So they have increased range with it. Like, they can shoot all the way over here. Which is a pretty big deal, if you ask me. And just trying to push here, which is probably a bad idea. Yeah, but the driver's gone, so that thing is stuck for a little bit. While this is going on, the service demands to clear out the place. Smoke might have given them enough time. Oh, Panther missed. And it's going to allow the M-chip to back off until the Panther can get another shot. Yeah, the Panther has to pull back. The Sherman was saved. So we'd have to deny this fuel for a while, but Germans still have the Panzer just nearby. While this is going on, the Germans are doing a big assault up here with the Fallschirmjägers. Yeah, the Soviets are not prepared. Good flank there in the north. They did lose a lot of units right there, though. That Pontoviga did a good job with that DPM, but they have to pull back. But now trying to push up right into the artillery strike. It's not working out for them. Now the Fallschirmjägers are over on the high ground, alongside some Fallschirm Pioneers with an MG-15. I think it's MG-15? Yeah, MG-15. MG pushing southwards here. Yeah, if they try to get around that corner, they're just gonna get killed. Lots of maneuvering over here. Ah, but Odong got killed there finally. Second Pan has survived though. So the Panzer Division is ready to overwhelm the Soviet defenders, I think. And now that the northern flank now in German hands, it's going to be even worse for the Soviets. Good play though from both sides. We've had a lot of good action in this one. But this German has to pull back on Panzerfaust, I think. Oh, hit by the Panzer Strike. Oh, but Panzer gets it. Very good angle they found there. So Arthur seems like the person that likes to vent a little bit. Well, Panzer survived. Looks like the Germans have the upper hand now. They still don't have a lot of vehicles, but they clearly don't need it. They're doing fine without it. So it's trying to make a comeback here, but there's MG-42 inside the structure. And the MG-42 just ripping into the Soviets. Like, MG-42 is staying very dangerous. We still have a lot of forces here over to make a move. A stand, but the Panthers are preparing to push. I don't think the Soviets can stop this. We do have an M-chip back here still, and more 80 guns are being called out. Lots of 80 guns, like lots of small 80 guns actually, because they are cheap, the 57. It's not a bad 80 gun. They can get the job done. You just need to have them in the right positions to cover each other. Here comes the Panthers. Ready to attack team. High explosives loaded. Small 80 guns actually have a pretty good penetration chance by the looks of it. Yeah, not bad at all. They're actually penetrating quite reliably. Oh yeah, those machine guns and the Panthers is just too much. MT needs to be very cautious. It cannot fight two Panthers frontally. That is just a suicide maneuver. Ooh, but I don't think they both know each other are there though, so they can back off safely. But the Germans managed to push up far again. Even said before the HQ here, which is a little bit of a risky maneuver, but looks like it's working out.
You have orders?
80 gun quickly being relocated southwards as well. I need to learn to try and talk a little slower, I think. Because I'm not sure that when I'm talking very fast that I'm clear to understand, but I have a very hard time judging myself. Because I have a tendency to talk very fast, which is actually a common trait for the city I'm from in Denmark. Like, we have like a saying that everything is one word in our city because of how fast we talk. And I think I might have bled a little bit over into my English, but I guess I would like some opinions on it. If I try to talk a little slower, if I'm a little bit more clear to hear. Oh, good shot from the German there. Is that the small 80 gun? Oh, Sherman got hit there by the Panzer shot though. Ooh. Probably creating a big dent in the armor. Sherman's trying to hold here. Panzer is waiting for it to... Oh, they're going to try and take a long range shot. They do actually hit. That's rare at long range. But I bet 5? Oh, they bet 5. No wonder they hit at long range. These guys are experts at what they do. Like, these guys are amazing. Once they get to 25, Panzer Jaegers are really damn good at their job. Like 40% increased accuracy. That's really damn good. The Germans also have an Aufklar around. Panthers are gearing up here. Like I said before, operating base here basically with their open blitz. Also the MTS needs to decide where they want to push. Because now there's a Panther up here too from the Jaeger. Jaeger tactics units. Jaeger Division? This is called tactics for the Waffen SS, so it's not really the same. Mthis gets some good shots here with their DPM. Looks the Sturmpioneers will make it with one member. MTS are prodding the center here, but the Panthers moving to intercept. It is a veteran to 2 Panther thanks to the Kampfkraft center, so it's going to definitely be able to deal with these Shermans potentially. Ooh, Panther missed. But the frontal armor is holding up. The Shermans just cannot penetrate it. Oh wait, one penetrated. And at that point, the Panther has to pull back. Just as this Sherman has to. But it's not looking good for the Soviets, I think. They still have a lot of units. They have quite a bit of a cis front. But the Germans are relocating their armored force up here. Hitler Ufer in the open blitz. Good to see people actually using the open blitz as a transport as well. Allows you to quickly reposition. And carry 3 squads, I think. Well, it's carrying 2 squads at the moment. Now it's sitting up here, and they're probably going to prepare to disembark. And they're probably going to prepare for full-on push in this area. As they probably realize there's too much down here to attack easily. They probably have an easier time attacking this little trench position. Which is weird to say, but here comes the German infantry. Ooh! Half-track gets taken up by an M-shot. Ooh, and Sherman gets hit. Oh, I doubled that tag team from the Panther. Panther tag team is always hard to deal with, I think. The Soviets just lack the means to fight these Panthers frontally at the moment, I feel. Tag team. Only one hit. Second shots. Oh, Sherman manages to back off. What is going on? The Germans were trying to lay some mines, but Soviets keep an eye at this front. Aegon trying to get some shots in. Not really working out this time. Perhaps getting the Red Air Force in would be a good idea, so getting some higher level officers with some anti-tank strafes would probably work out here. Just in my opinion. But the Soviets have lost a lot of ground. And the Siscon being pulled to the front. We do have a Tiger tank coming up behind us as well. Germans bring out all their toys. Their big toys. Second pan for the Jaegers as well. Jaegers do get the Panther after all, and can equip it with infrared scopes. Infrared optics. Very unique to them. That's an incendiary grenade in the trench. Oh, Hitler, you've cleared that out easily. Until we're calling here by the lieutenant for the Soviets, they might prepare a push. Oh, it's just a probe. But it is forcing the Germans to relocate a bit. As the mortars rain down. Lots of 80 guns have been positioned. So Germans do need to be cautious with their vehicles somewhat. But the MG42 is still around. And they've also spotted the Aufklärer. Half an hour present down here to hold again. Oh, high explosive from the Panther kills the Maxim team. The Tiger tank is now ready to hit the front line soon. Here comes the Panzer Grenadiers following up behind the tank. They need to be a little bit closer. There we go, now they get their bonus. They also cannot be suppressed when they near the tank, and the tank also provides them a bit of cover. Panther lost his gunner. Oh, that's basically moving so far ahead. Yeah, they lost that. Ooh. But while this is going on, the Germans advancing up here with artillery strikes and double Panther. Oh, and I'm being called. Absolutely typical. Excuse me. My apologies. I got a phone call right there. Seems to happen a lot for me these days. Let's get back into it. But we're about to clear out this. Oh, well, the Germans are. Panthers pushing forwards. I don't think the Soviets can hold on for long anymore. Well, they have done a good job, all things considering. But they're kind of almost base locked in that position up there in the northern front. Panthers can just push up so aggressively. And it is a very hard thing to deal with. We also have a Sturmbannführer on the field here for the Jaegers. Another shipment taken out there, cleared out by the Panthers. And Panthers been to make a move here. They even have a Tiger now. The Tiger does have less frontal armor though, but has more HP. So these lighter 80 guns have a higher chance to penetrate the Tiger. But it will take a lot more shots before it goes down. But it keeps getting driver injured, so that's not really working out for it. That said, it is able to pop smoke. And all these 80 guns are pretty dangerous to push up on just because of the sheer amount of them. But the Germans are slowly creeping up further and further. It'll just be a matter of time. Blitz preparing to move. Panthers was pushing up here. And the Allied defense is starting to look pretty light. T-54-45s are being requisitioned, which could potentially help, but it might be a little bit too late at this point. So they're trying to dig in further. They want to give up their hold down here. Oh, but the Sturmbannführer, I believe, is calling in an artillery strike here. It's going to be Nebelwerfer. And probably following the Nebelwerfer strike, it's probably going to be an assault. If I am guessing Kigong's plans correctly here. Like probably a Nebelwerfer strike here. Oh, it looks like Rafka left, probably because they see no reason to continue anymore. And then we have the armored assault following in after the Nebelwerfers. Nebelwerfers are a little bit close. But But good time, well timed, because it allowed them to stun everything. Very good play here from Kigerung. Because it allowed the Spoon-Pioneers to get close. Like, that's why, that's a good use of the rocket artillery. That's how you're meant to use it. But I think it's all over now. Arthur's getting overrun, and they are playing with an AI, which is not what you want to have in Ironside / Spearhead, to be honest. The AI is not good at it. Even sort of roadblocks down here. They really did prepare for everything by the looks of it. But it's not going to stop the German push. I think Arthurs can safely safely surrender at this point. They did a good fight. They did a good attempt. But at this point, it's just been too much. Just too much German armor coming in. More Mthis getting destroyed. Panzer slowly pushing up here. I think we can safely just speed up time a little bit. Officers needs to... Yeah, they called the GG. And it was dropped. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. It was certainly a decent match. I'll see you all next time, everyone. Bye-bye.